It's taken me way too long to realize that any kind of resistance in life is not rejection. In fact, it's more of an invitation from God for you to pry and poke a bit harder. Try a little bit more. And it's taken me way too long to realize that. Looking back at my last video, I was talking about how things never went my way, but it's like, I don't think I ever try hard enough, and I don't persist for long enough. I think persistence is something I struggle with a bit, and I'm definitely a committed kind of person. I love to commit to things, but it seems like if I don't get results first try, then I just stop and go for something easier, and I think this is something that a lot of people do struggle with nowadays, and that is exactly how you don't get anything done, and that's exactly how you don't get anything. You don't get any rewards from life, because you just stop when it gets hard, or when there's any kind of resistance or pressure telling you to stop. A great example for this, my favorite kind of analogy, is if you think about like a story video game, like a story free roam video game, where you don't know where to go, you've tried many different paths, you end up walking down the same path you've already been, and you find this one path and there's enemies there. And they try and stop you, but they're not actually put there to stop you. You just have to get through them. It's like a test of your strength. And, if you're not strong enough, you don't get through. But you kind of know you're going the right way. If you can't get through, you gotta do the old method of sleeping on it, going back the next day, somehow you can beat them. I know you've done that many times if you ever played video games. Sleep on it, come back the next day, somehow you're a god. I don't know, always seems to work. Sometimes you just have to look at the big picture and see that resistance at the time is not rejection. It's just, right now you shouldn't have that, because perhaps you're not strong enough, or if you had it now, it would be destruction. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have it ever, and it doesn't mean you should stop trying to get it because you can't have it now. It might mean that you can't have it now, but if you keep going, you might have that within 24 hours, because in 24 hours, you will gain a new set of knowledge and wisdom, be a little bit stronger, and that's when you can, meet the universe halfway, because you've learned how to do it. You've put the effort in, you've earned it, and I think that's what we need to take from our life, and that's what we need to learn. Otherwise, we won't really get anything, You have to do things for a long time. Things take such a long time, and this is what I was complaining about in my last video, and it kind of annoyed me that I was doing that, because I know, and I know in my own life, looking at my own timeline, things literally do take time. I don't think I've achieved a lot, but the things that I have achieved, they've taken time. And the things that I'm not proud of, they were easy. And, I don't want to do easy things. I just want to commit and persist with something. When you experience any kind of resistance in your life, you got to think of it as a filter. And, you know what? Not at the time. I think at the time it's hard to think of things like this, but just looking back on times when you've had resistance and you've had things go wrong, or you've failed some things. Resistance is the filter, and it filters out the weakness. And, you can't get to where you want to be without gaining some strength to get there. You have to be the right level. You have to acquire some ability and some knowledge to get there at that point. And, yeah, it's like you can push and pry through a door as many times as you want. You can keep trying to get through. But until the door considers your force worthy enough, you will not get through. Whenever you're trying to chase a goal, or there's something that you're aiming to, aspiring to, always think of any kind of resistance or failure as this kind of divine boundary that is just stopping you getting to that point right now, because you need to keep going, really, not for the fact that within enough attempts, you're going to make it eventually. It's that too, but it's also that every failure, every little downfall, and every obstacle that you push past is like strength gained. And that's why it's a divine boundary, because that's how God puts you exactly where you need to be. There's a great quote by the author Stephen Pressfield, and he said, "Rule of thumb, the more important a call or action is to our soul's evolution, the more resistance we will feel towards pursuing it." I think the same also goes for fear, because somehow anything that you are destined to, it seems to be always on the other side of fear, like on the other side of what we are scared of the most. I think that's crazy. Like, for me, putting myself on the internet, like putting this camera on my face, is something that 1 year ago today, I definitely could not have ever done. Like, it was definitely something I was thinking about, but I was saying things like, I'll just do it when I'm older, when people will listen to me more, or, I'll get a beard, wait till I can grow a beard, so people think I'm more manly and, a deeper voice. People want to listen more to people with a deeper voice and a beard, but like, no, I just started, and I have to say, this feels so right, and like I'm called to do it. So, it's crazy that. Just look at the things that are on the other side of what you are actually really scared of doing, but it's something that is constantly nagging at you. And maybe it's similar to what I'm doing, maybe you're thinking things like, yeah, there is that, I could do that, but, something's just stopping me, or I'm gonna wait till then to do it. I honestly reckon, have a look at actually just doing it, and see how drastically your life changes. Or at least feel how much better you feel for facing the fear and pushing past limits. Well, that's all from me today. Peace and prosperity your way.